Hi, this is Paula from Alanda Craft, and in this video I'm going to show you how to make a 3D banner. So let's get started. So we'll come over to Basic, click on that, and we want to shape a particular shape, and the one I'm going to use is this one here. Now you can see there's one that's very similar, you may be able to use that as well, but I'm going to start with this one. So this is the thinner version. Click that once to bring it over here, and when it's here what I'm going to do is rotate it. So you can see you've got this teal circle up here, and this allows us to rotate. As I move my mouse over there, I get a little arrow up here. While it's doing that, I want to hold the Shift key down. Okay, so I hold the Shift key down, move my mouse over to that circle, click, and then turn. Alright, so there it is there. And I'm going to resize this. So while it's still selected, I'm going to come up to Properties, and I'm going to change this first field to 1 inch. And then click somewhere else, and you'll see this adjust accordingly. Because I've got maintain aspect ratio on, this will adjust. So click on there. Oops, let's try that again. So we want 1 inch. Okay, that's better. Okay, now close that. Alright, so we've got our little sort of shape there. I'm going to increase so we can see this a little better. Okay, one more time. Alright. So there it is there. I'm just going to drag it up to here. Now what I want is a duplicate of that. So I'm going to right click and duplicate. Okay, so there it is there. And I'm going to rotate it as well. I want it to appear on the other side. So again, hold down my Shift key on my keyboard. Come up, move my mouse up to here until I see that arrow. And then click and then drag it to turn. Okay, so we've got our two little pieces now, our shapes. Now I need to come back into Basic. Click there. And I'm going to choose a rectangle. So I want this one down here. You can see there's a few different ones, but I want this long, thin one. Doesn't really matter too much because we're going to resize it anyway. But I'm going to click once, try again, there we go. And I'm going to resize it. So while it's selected, come up to Properties. And this time I'm going to uncheck this because I want a specific size. So I'm going to just uncheck that one. I'm going to make it the same height, so 1 inch. And for this one here, I'm going to just round that up to 4. Okay, so that's the sizing there. Alright, now what I want to do, I'll just bring this down a little. Okay, I'm going to just drag these over and just get these as close as possible. They don't have to be perfect, and just drag them so that they line up a bit like that. Don't go right on top of each other because you may have trouble welding. Just a little bit back from each other. You can leave a little gap there like that. Same here, something like that. Now what we want to do is make sure these are all lined up, because at the moment they're kind of not lined up on the top or the bottom. So I'm going to click and drag to highlight everything. You can see everything's highlighted now. Come up to Edit, and I'm just going to align to the bottom here. So that's the option I want. Click that. Okay, so that should be aligned now. Now while everything is still selected, all you need to do now is right click and weld. Okay, so that's our basic shape done there. Now we need to get some scoring lines in because we want to be able to fold this to make it to give it a 3D effect. So what I need to do, I'm going to zoom right in. What I want to do here, in order to line these scoring lines I'm going to put in on here, we need to line this shape up, and I'm going to line it up with this 10 millimeter mark here. You can see that there. So I'm just going to get the point here and just line it up just there. This just allows us to get as precise as possible when we're trying to put these scoring lines in. So just line that up with the 10 millimeter mark, and then what we're going to do is put some scoring lines running at the 30 millimeter mark and the 35 millimeter mark here. So I'll come up to this option here. This is the path tool. Click that once. Alright, now what you want to do, and I'm going to zoom in even more so you can see this a little better. So at the 30-inch mark, we're just going to click on the black line once. Alright, you can see you get a little dot up here, and you can see this follows you around. That's what you want. So now you need to hold the Shift key, and as soon as I hold the Shift key, watch what happens. See how it locks into place every time I hit that Shift key? That's what you want. So you want to hold the Shift key down and just move your mouse down until you get to the other end of that black line, and just click once, let go of your Shift key, and then click once again. If you don't click again, see what happens? It follows you, so you need to click on that blue dot again to close it, and that's ready. Okay, you can see it's still highlighted, so don't click anywhere else just yet. Make sure it's still highlighted. Come up to Properties, Dash Pattern, click the drop down, and I usually go with this one. Again, you can choose whichever one you want, whatever suits you, depending on the paper you're working with, but I find this one works pretty well. So click on that, and then close the box, and there you go, that's that dash pattern there. Now we want to do it again at the 35mm mark, so again, come up to path, click just there on the black line, click, and then hold the shift key down, move your mouse down, click once again, let go of the shift key and click. It's highlighted so I can come up to properties and select that dash pattern. Okay, so that's that side done. Now if I move this now, everything's going to come out of place, so I'm going to group everything. So I'm just going to click and drag to highlight everything there, right click and group. Now you can see I can move things around, so that's why you group things after you've done things like that. Now let's move this down, and what I'm going to do now is I want to do the same thing on the other side, so I'm going to rotate this so I can line it up the same way. So hold the shift key down, come up to that teal coloured dot, and then drag it to bring it around. So you've got the teal dot down at the bottom now. So let's zoom back in. I'm going to line this point up again with that number 10, like that. And again, we're going to put the scoring lines at the 30 and the 35. So again, back up to path, click once, hold down my shift key, move my mouse down, click again, let go of my shift key, and click again. Come up to properties, dash pattern, and select that. And I'll do the same thing again at the 35mm mark. Click, hold the shift key, click again. Okay. And dash pattern. Okay, done. Again, I'm going to group everything, so just click and drag, highlight that in there, right click and group. Alright, so bring that down. Now that is actually done. That is your completed banner. So all I want to do is give that a name now, banner, and I'll click download. And there we go. Now I can download to the PC by just clicking on there. Or I can just transfer wirelessly to ScanNCut Canvas, which is what I'm going to do. I'll just click on that and away it goes. So that's done. So let's take a look what it looks like when it's cut. So this is what it looks like when it's been cut, as you can see here. And although you probably can't see this on camera, there are 2 dashed lines there and 2 here. So all you need to do to fold this up now is have the right side facing up, wrong side facing down, and then you get the scoring line that's closest to you on this side and fold that way, and the other scoring line you want to fold back towards you, so you might want to turn it over, that makes it easier, so back towards you like that. Alright, so that forms that little fold like that there. Same with the other side, fold the one closest to you back that way, this one you want to fold back towards you, and then it forms like that, and then there you go, that's all done.